Happy Monday, y'all. This is Miss Lewis. I hope you're all off to a great Monday and a great start to your week. I will be back with y'all tomorrow. Since it's the last day, you will have a sub. So go ahead and get your journal out and get ready to take notes so you're ready for today. So once you have your journal out, and substitute if they don't have it all out, you can pause it and get ready, have them get ready. But as soon as they have it all out, we're going to play, and we are going to title our page, adding, subtracting, rational numbers. Now, when we have the same signs, meaning positive and positive and negative and negative, we're just going to add the numbers and keep our sign. So if we have positive, it becomes a positive, right? A negative, it stays a negative. So we're going to just add the two numbers and keep the sign. So if it was positive, then it stays positive. If it was negative, it stays negative. And if they don't have it all written down, that's a time we can pause and give those instructions. But when we have numbers with different signs, so let's say we have a positive, negative, negative, positive. We're going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of practice. So the first one we're going to do, go ahead and copy it down with me. I have 3.65 plus negative 4.7. Now, when I look at my integer rules, do these have the same sign or different signs? That is right, they are different. So when I am going to go to this row right here, so we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. So we know this is going to be negative. And how I do all of my solutions, I like to do them on a number line. And this really helps me check my work. And cool feature, I've gone ahead and taped a number line on all of your desks, so you should all have a number line. But I'm going to look here, and I'm going to go up 365, and I'm going to come down 4.7. All right, now this might be hard, but what we're going to do is enter in our calculator. So we're going to guess that it's going to be somewhere around -1 is where my guess is going to be. So this gives me an idea of where I should expect. So my calculation will be about right. So this is where our rounding can come in handy. So I'm accepting it to be about -1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract. So I have 4.7 minus 3.65. So I'm just going to enter that in my calculator, 4.7 minus 3.65. And that gives me 1.05. So we already said this was negative because we're keeping the sign of our larger number, and 4.7 is bigger. And we kind of did this number line just to check what our work should look like. So I said it should be around -1, and my answer right here is right around -1, so I would say we were correct. Sorry. The next one we're going to do is 2.5 minus 4.25. Now I'm going to quickly go to my number line again so I can get a good guesstimation. So I'm going to go up positive 2.5, and I'm going to go down, so that's 2.5 back. So I need to go another 3.5, and I'm guessing we're going to go to right about here. So I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere in between -1 and -2. Yeah. So we have different signs again. So we have positive plus negative. And so we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. So 4.25 has our larger number. And so we're going to keep that negative sign. Now I'm just going to subtract 4.25 minus 2.5. And that's going to give us -1.75. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do one more. And I have 5.2 minus -2.34. You see this one down here. All right, so I'm looking at this, and I have 5.2 minus 2.34. I have two negatives right next to each other. These two right here. And so when we have a double negative, it actually becomes a positive. So this we're going to rewrite it as 5.2 plus 2.34. So two negatives make a positive, so I rewrote it as 5.2 plus 2.34. So we have the same sign, so all I need to do is just add those two numbers. And we have, and that will equal 7.54. So make sure we remember these integer rules and focus on those closely. We're going to do a couple more word problems to help us out on our assignment. So Elena had $267 in her bank account. I feel like that's going to be important. And we know that this is positive since she has that money in her bank account. She doesn't owe that money. And then she had to buy a new phone for $280. So this money will be coming out of her account. So we're going to say that's a negative $280.50. And she put it on her credit card. So what is her account balance now? So before I even do the math, I'm going to do some logical thinking. So she has $267. Is $280, if she spent that much money, is she going to be in the positive or is she going to be in the negative? Did she spend more than she had? Yeah. So I want to first note that my answer is negative. So whatever answer we get, we need to make sure it's negative. So when we have different signs, we subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. So we're keeping the sign of the larger number. And when I do 280.5 minus 267.35, I get 13.15. So she spent $13.15 more than what she had. All right, last but not least, Paul owes his father $10.75. If he owes it, Is this number going to be positive or negative? Negative. If he borrows $550 more, so if he borrows more, that means he owes more, so it's going to be $550 again. More from his father. What is his total debt to his father? So total, when they have the same signs, we just need to add them and keep the sign. So we're adding. Well, we know our answer is going to be negative because they're both negative. So 1075 plus 550, that equals $16.25. Awesome. So you all have an activity on Schoology. It's one of the digital slides activities, and you must submit this assignment by the end of class so that I can grade it. I'm tired of all of us not submitting our assignments, and then we have zeros upon zeros upon zeros, even when we've done some of the work. So make sure it's called adding and subtracting. And we need to make sure we do those digital slides and do our best at them and then submit them by the end of the class. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow morning.